Hi everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Teacher Pat. Today I have a recipe to share with you guys that is perfect for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, but best of all, it's going to be perfect for this weekend for Mother's Day, and that's frittatas. And some of you may be wondering, what in the world is a frittata? A frittata is basically a baked omelet. So the awesome thing about frittatas is that you don't have to, if you're like me, I'm terrible at making omelets. I love omelets, but I'm so bad at making them, especially when it comes time to flip them over or whatever it is. I always break it and then the egg gets everywhere. So frittata is a really easy way to make an omelet type of egg dish, and you can put anything in them. Today we're going to be using just a few simple ingredients, but I've tried combinations such as ground sausage and bell peppers and cheese, and that was delicious. One time I had leftover corned beef and cabbage from St. Patrick's Day. I chopped that up and put it in the frittata, and it was so good. You can do mushrooms, you can do bell peppers, tomatoes. Just know that tomatoes do make it a little bit watery, so you might have to take out the seeds, but combinations are endless. My rule of thumb is put in the frittata whatever you would like in your omelet. To date, my hands down favorite frittata that I've made, I used, oh, and by the way, great for using up leftovers that you don't know what to do with. I used leftover quinoa, and I used sauteed Swiss chard that I had, and that was sauteed in garlic, and I just put some cheese in there, and it was the best vegetarian frittata that I will eat over and over again. So let's go over our ingredients to find out what kind of frittata we're going to make today. So parents, today we're going to be making a cheesy bacon and potato frittata, and the recipe that I will be cooking in this video is actually half of a normal recipe. A normal recipe makes 12 frittatas that are, we're going to cook in a muffin tin. And this recipe that I'm cooking right now is only going to cook 6. So by all means, if you would like to make 12, then just go ahead and double the recipe. And I will have the recipe available for you also in the class. So the first thing you're going to need, parents, is you're going to need 4 to 5 strips of bacon, which I've already cooked ahead of time and cut into smaller pieces. You're also going to need 1 cup of frozen hash browns. And I just want to let you guys know too that I didn't have all of the ingredients for this recipe, but I used whatever that I had that I could substitute. And what we had was frozen French fries, which equally work as well. They're just not going to be as thin as a hash brown. They're both potatoes, right? So 1 cup of hash brown, but I have French fries. And then you're going to need 5 large eggs. And then you're going to need 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons of milk, but I didn't have any milk. The only milk we had was vanilla flavored, and I didn't want to put that in my frittata, so I'm using chicken broth right now. So this is 2 tablespoons of chicken broth. And then you're going to need 1/3 of a cup of cheese. We just have Colby Jack cheese, but cheddar cheese works really well. Monterey Jack cheese. If you want it spicy, use pepper jack. Mozzarella cheese would also be very good. Anything that melts really well. And then you're going to need salt and pepper to taste. And then finally, you're going to need a cooking spray or some kind of oil, really important, and then your muffin tin. Okay, parents, so for this part, I would recommend doing this part with adults only, and then I'll let you know where the kids can help. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, which I already have going. And then the next thing you want to do is with cooking spray or even olive oil or vegetable oil, you want to generously spray the inside of your tin because you don't want your eggs to stick to the muffin tin. So do make sure you spray it really well. The last thing that you want is for all your frittatas to get stuck to the pan, and you're going to have to scrape it out. And then this is also for easy cleanup too. So generously sprayed. I'm going to set it aside. And then the next thing I'm going to want to do is, while the oven is preheating, this is when you want to cook your bacon. But for time's sake, I already cooked mine and chopped it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to beat my eggs. And you want to make sure that it is mixed really well. Got a shell in there. That's not going to be fun for Mom to eat for Mother's Day. Make sure you get all those out. Of course, if your kids love cracking eggs, this is also a really good trick to, I'm sorry, not trick, but a skill for them to have. If you have an eggshell, let me show you a trick. Shh. You get your finger wet. And then if you put it in there, the eggshell is not going to run away. You should be able to pick it out with no trouble. Ta-da! Okay, so eggshell out. You can pause it. Okay, so now that all my eggs are in the bowl, this is where you want to add your milk. But remember, I don't have milk, so I'm using chicken broth. You can also put a dollop of sour cream in there too. That would make it a little bit extra rich. That's super good too. And here's where you want to season it. I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper. Not too much, depending on your family. Of course, if your kids don't like black pepper, then take it out. And normally people would season it with salt, but here's my little secret. And it makes the omelet taste so good, is put a little bit of chicken bouillon or chicken powder in there in place of your salt. I guarantee you, you'll never eat eggs the other way. And I'm still going to put a tiny bit of salt. Not too much. Okay. You can even put garlic salt too if you want. Okay, so you just mix this up real well. Make sure that everything is well incorporated. And once you have it nice and whisked up, then you can set it off to the side. And then we're going to fill our muffin tins. But, gosh, I'm telling you, the first time I made a frittata, I was so amazed at how easy it was and how similar it tasted to an omelet, minus all the fuss of standing over the stove. If you have people staying at your house over the weekend, this is a great breakfast to serve everyone. And you can customize it too. You can put whatever you want in there. So my eggs are good now. And then now, my greased up muffin tin, what I'm going to do is, remember, I'm only going to do 6. So you want to divide your bacon evenly among your cups. So this was 4 pieces of bacon. Of course, if your family likes more, you can do more. So if you were to do the whole thing, 8 to 10 pieces of bacon would be perfect. And there you go. And then here goes my French fries. You may think it's crazy, but it's just potato. I mean, if you think about it, when you have breakfast, you have potatoes, you have some kind of meat and eggs, right? So this is all that in a cup. And you don't have to use that much potato. If you want less potato, you can do less potato. If you want to put some fried onions in there, put some fried onions in there. Really, the combinations are great. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so now I'm going to do cheese. And I'm just going to sprinkle some in each cup. Now, if you have kids who are picky. Oh, here's where you would want your kids to help. I totally forgot to ask Austin. Sorry, Austin. But your kids can make their own cups. You can set out all your ingredients and let them pick and choose. And then it would make it so much more exciting for them because they made it, right? You know, have a variety and let them choose their own. And, okay, one more cup. Now, the next thing that you want to do, this is totally optional, but I find that it makes it so much easier when putting the egg mixture in there, is instead of pouring from here or using a ladle, which can get messy, I use a measuring cup that has a, like a pointed spout. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I know it's like, oh, it's another thing to wash, but like, trust me, when you don't want to get that egg to spill everywhere. So here's your rule of thumb. You don't want to fill it up too much because they do puff up when they cook. So I would pour it to about halfway to 3/4 of the way. Go slowly because you need to give it time so that it can seep into all the holes. You see how easy it is for it to splash out. So Austin's enjoying his dinner over there. He's eating bacon for dinner. So keep going until they're all filled and evenly distributed. And that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so follow me. In the oven we go. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to make it in the 12 muffin tin and you're not using the other ones, you might want to add a little water in each tin because you don't want to burn your pan. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there. I totally sprayed it because I forgot that I was only making 6, but that's okay. Either way, I got to wash the pan. So put some water in there. Kind of like when you make a cheesecake, right? You want to put water in the pan. So here you go. And then in the 375-degree oven on the middle rack for 12 to 15 minutes or until they set. Everyone's oven is different, so you can check it. After like 10 minutes or so, give the pan a little jiggle. If it's still soft in the middle and jiggly, then it's not done yet. So we'll see you back in 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, parents, so it's been about 13 minutes, and I'm just going to check to see how done it is. Woo, look at them. It looks like a pretty little muffin. Look at that. They puffed up a little bit, which is what I was expecting. And, oh, they look so good. It might be a little bit jiggly still. Oh, there goes my timer again. And I'm just going to give the pan a little jiggle. And yeah, see how you can see it still jiggling a little bit? I just want to make sure that it's cooked all the way and not still runny in the inside. So I'm going to put it in for another 2 minutes. So see you back. Okay, parents, so after 2 minutes, I checked on our eggs and they were perfect. They weren't too jiggly, but they weren't super firm. So you don't want to overcook them because after you pull them out, they're going to sit in the pan on the counter for about 5 minutes to cool down a little bit. And the residual heat of the pan will continue to cook it. So they're done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate. I already have a plate that I prepared. I just put a little bit of avocado and some fruit, mango, apple, and orange. That's what we had at the house. You can serve it with melons, any kind of fruit salad. A small green salad with a vinaigrette will also be very good. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to run my knife along the edge just to make sure that it's not going to be stuck. Gentle, you don't want to scratch your pan. And see, look, it's already kind of sliding around. And I'm going to plate 2, depending on who you're serving. Plate however many you think you need. See, look. Ta-da! It's a mini omelette. So there's one. And then here's the other one. And if you want to get extra fancy, you can put a little parsley on there. I would rather sprinkle it on top. You can do chopped onions just to put a little color on there. But hey, if it's for Mom for Mother's Day, you got to make it special, right? Let's give it a try. I'm going to cut it open so you can see. Come on, get on. Ooh, you see the potatoes, you see the bacon, cheese floated to the top. I'm going to take a bite. It's hot. Would be good with some ketchup, maybe some hot sauce. Anyways, I hope you guys take the time to try this out this weekend. Perfect, perfect, perfect for Mother's Day. I know if my husband made me a breakfast in bed on Mother's Day, hint, hint, camera guy right now, I would be so excited to get this for breakfast. So, let me know what you think. Enjoy.